Привет всем, с вами я, Jenny. If you're learning Russian, you can listen to the song and then skip to about halfway through the video. At that point in the video, I'm going to teach you how I use music to improve my Russian and to work on pronunciation and memorize vocab and grammar. So that'll be about halfway through the video. А если вы говорите по-русски, прослушайте, конечно, песню. А в конце песни я расскажу вам мое воспоминание об этой песне. И это была на самом деле первая песня, которую я запомнила по-русски.
Покроется небо пылинками звезд, и выгнутся ветки упруга. Тебя я услышу за тысячу верст. Мы эхо, эхо, мы эхо, эхо, мы долгое эхо друг друга. Мы эхо, мы долгое эхо друг друга. И мне до тебя, где бы я ни была, дотронуться сердцем нетрудно. Опять нас любовь за собой позвала. Мы нежно, нежно, мы нежно, нежность, мы вечная нежность друг друга. Мы нежность, мы вечная нежность друг друга. И даже в краю наползающей тьмы, за гранью смертельного круга, я знаю, с тобой не расстанемся мы. Мы память, мы звездная память друг друга. Мы память, мы звездная память друг друга.
Так, теперь мое вспоминание связано с этой песней. Я слушала эту песню впервые где-то осенью 2003 года. Я работала учительницей английского языка, и я жила с одной хозяйкой. И вот эта хозяйка очень миленькая была, и она была, я не знаю, как это сказать по-русски, но она была такой же, как сказать, но как she was as big, tall as she was wide. То есть она была настолько высока, как и широка. То есть получается как круг. Она была очень круглая. И она чуть не помещалась на свою кухню. И я помню, мы там сидели у нее на кухне, и мы смотрели какой-то там спектакль по телевизору. И они пели разные песни. По-моему, шоу назывался «Старые песни», «Главные песни», типа того. То есть главные песни или старые, я не точно помню. Но в это время я не очень хорошо говорила по-русски, но я просто замечала, что бабушка, хозяйка моя, сидела и пела вместе с телевизором, и она даже клала себе на сердце руку, вот так. Она как душевно чувствовала эту песню очень сильно, и это было так мило, и я думала, ну хорошо, это кажется очень популярная песня, мне стоит запомнить. Так, пожалуйста, в комментариях оставьте песни, которые вам нравятся, и которые вы бы хотели, чтобы я спела когда-нибудь на своем канале. Я всегда очень с удовольствием принимаю ваши идеи. Спасибо за просмотр. Надеюсь, что акцент был терпимый. И увидимся на следующем видео. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how to use a song in Russian to improve your pronunciation and to memorize new vocab and to look for grammar structures and kind of get the feel for grammar structures. So in just a second, we're going to be working with a PowerPoint that I have, but I'm going to show you how I drill pronunciation when I learn a new song. So this is how I learned Russian. I memorized songs and poetry and just got my mouth moving, got my mouth used to the words, and I would just repeat them over and over, because the great thing about music is, one, it forces you to keep the rhythm. So you have to make sure that you have the word stress correct, otherwise your rhythm in the song is going to be all wrong. And two, we use the same part of our brain for music as we do for language. And so songs are going to be really easy to memorize, and your brain is going to latch onto that information more easily if it's in song form. So I always recommend this to students, and I find students who are musical, they tend to be better language learners. So I highly, highly recommend incorporating songs and music into your studies. So let's work on some of the pronunciation. So I would just drill this over and over and over again. Покроется небо пылинками звезд. And then I do it to the rhythm. Покроется небо пылинками звезд. See how it forces you to kind of say it on time. И выгнутся ветки упруго. Тебя я услышу за 1000 верст. So we would go through with the rhythm. Тебя я услышу за 1000. So then once you've repeated it enough and you feel comfortable with the pronunciation, that's when you start to incorporate the melody. Покроется небо пылинками звезд, и выгнутся ветки упруго. Something like that. So again, this is really helping with your pronunciation. Now let's switch to the PowerPoint, and I'll show you how to use this song for memorizing vocab, because if you memorize the song, then automatically you have all that vocab memorized, plus the grammar that is used in the song.
Okay, so here we have the lyrics to our song. Покроется небо пылинками звезд, и выгнутся ветки упруго. Тебя я услышу за 1000 верст. So let's see the English translation. So this is not a pretty translation. I really would love for you guys to try and make me a beautiful translation and leave it in the comments. But I find it's more helpful to just know how each word literally translates. So I'm just separating it out. It's going to sound really clunky and awkward in English. So let's look at the grammar behind it. So this is the he, she conjugation of покрыться, which is a perfective verb. That's something you'll get more familiar with at the intermediate and advanced levels. Небо is actually the subject of the sentence. And that's the cool thing about Russian is the subject does not have to be at the beginning of the sentence like it does in English. And then пылинками, that is an instrumental plural ending. And it means with or by means of. And then звезд is a feminine plural, and that's really typical for the feminine a ending to disappear in the genitive plural. And then we get down to the next line. Again, it's going to awkwardly translate into English, and let's do a grammar analysis. So this is the они conjugation of the verb выгнуться, and it's again a perfective, and that's going to make it a future. And then we go, ветки is actually the subject of this sentence. So it's the ветки that are going to be bending. And упруго, anytime you see this o on the end of an adjective, it makes it an adverb. Lastly, so again, awkward wording. Тебя is the direct object, so it's accusative because I will hear you. Я is the subject of this sentence. Услышу, that's again a perfective verb, the я conjugation, which makes it future. Then za is a really tricky preposition, and even just in this song, you're going to see that it can be either instrumental or accusative. So in this case, it's accusative because it's translating as for 1,000. The original of this is тысяча, and then it's getting accusative, so it goes to тысячу. And then верста is Верста is like a type of measurement, and it would maybe translate into English as miles. And again, the a disappeared because it's a genitive plural. And there's an implied of here. There's no word for of in Russian. You just get genitive. Okay, then the chorus is super easy. We are the echo, we are the echo. And that's just nominative, nominative, nominative. And then we are the long echo of each other. So this adjective, dolgaya, is neuter because the thing it's describing, echa, is neuter as well. Then this is a super fun phrase in Russian. It looks like it's like friend of friend, like it doesn't make any sense, but that's how you say each other in Russian. So you can say, мы любим друг друга. We love each other. Мы знаем друг друга. We know each other. So that's just a fun way. That's how you say each other. And then the next verse, и мне до тебя. So this is going to be really weird in English. So this is, мне is the dative case. So we're saying for me, up until you, getting genitive. And this is going to make sense when we get down to this verb down here. So for me, up until you. Now this is a really useful phrase. Где бы я ни была. This is how you say wherever, is you have to say что бы я ни хотела, whatever I wanted. This is how you kind of phrase a wherever, whatever, whenever. Когда бы ты не хочешь, for example. So whenever you want. And then let's look at the verb down here, дотронуться. So this prefix do means up until something. So to touch up until you. So like to kind of grab you, to reach you. And that's why we have this do up here, because it's paired with this verb. Сердцем, that's in the instrumental, by means of. I'm going to reach you with my heart, kind of. And then here again, we have an adjective that has an o ending, thus turning it into an adverb. Next. This phrase, опять нас любовь за собой позвала. So, interesting thing here. Maybe you don't know the gender of любовь, but what you could do is look over at how the verb conjugated. Oh, so the fact that we have a feminine conjugation tells us любовь is a feminine. So, нас is the direct object because love is calling us. Love is the subject, and it's a feminine. And then here we have za again. We just saw it with accusative. Now we're seeing it with instrumental, because when it's in pursuit of something, then you get it with instrumental. So, for example, if you went down to the store for bread, in pursuit of bread, you'd say, я пошла в магазин за хлебом, in pursuit of bread. So that's what's happening. And then позвала is the past tense conjugation of позвать for the feminine. And then again, super simple on the chorus. We are the affection. Нежность is hard to translate into English, but it's affection or like tenderness. We are the affection. Мы вечная нежность друг друга. So if I were to tell you to look at нежность and figure out what gender it was, a way that you could do that is look at the adjective describing it. So it is a feminine. And a quick fun tip about any noun ending in ost is it's always, always, always feminine. And then again, we have each other. Okay, and now the last verse. И даже в краю наползающей тьмы. Okay, this stuff is getting more complex. So what I would recommend, if you get to words that you don't know, feel free to copy and paste them and put them into a dictionary. So the dictionary that I like, so for example, if we were, this word looks super funky. Okay, so let's copy and paste it. Come over here to my favorite online dictionary, Reverso, and we just copy and paste whatever form it was in, and then this dictionary is going to know what we're talking about. So just watch. So, тьмы. Oh, here's the original right here. Тьма, and it means darkness or gloom. So what we were getting back over here is the genitive of it. So yes, so what's happening here? В краю, again, you could look that up. So on the edge, that's an irregular prepositional ending. Those happen every once in a while. You'll get an u or a u. This is an active participle. So it comes from a verb to mean to creep in. And that's more advanced Russian, but it is a genitive ending and then genitive feminine because there's an of on the edge of creeping in darkness. За гранью, again, there's za plus instrumental because it's meaning beyond. of, we have an implied of here, which is why we're getting genitive case on those masculine endings. Смертельного, typical genitive ending, круга. And then down here, I know, that's a conjugation, я знаю, ты знаешь, он знает, with you. So this is the instrumental version of like тебя, тебе. And then расстанемся, that's the мы conjugation, and that means will not. We will not part. So if you have a perfective verb and you conjugate it, it turns it into future. We will not part, and мы is the subject of the sentence, again, clear at the end of the sentence, which is what you can do in Russian. You can't do that in English. And lastly, again, super simple, straightforward chorus. We are the memory, we are the memory. We are the starry memory of each other. Again, if you weren't sure because of this mягкий знак what gender память is, guess what? Look at what gender this adjective is, and that gives it away. So I hope that was useful. Please let me know in the comments below if this was helpful and if you'd like to see more like this, because this is seriously just my most favorite thing to do is learning music. I'm doing that right now in Portuguese to try and learn the language as well. Also, if you feel like you can do a good job translating this and making it sound beautiful in English, please leave that in the comments. I would be super interested to see it. And then if you have any more grammar questions about what you saw in these lyrics, just leave those comments below, and either I or my Russian viewers will help you out with that. And then also, lastly, leave any songs that you love in Russian that you would love to see broken down in this way. Хорошо, это все. Thanks for watching till the end. You are super faithful and devout to me. Thank you. I really loved having you here, and I hope you had a good time listening to this song. Пока.